afternoon we're going to talk about Swami Madhavananda, who was a disciple of Holy Mother. He received his initiation in 1909, and in 1910 he was sent to Mayavati, and he returned there again in 1917. In 1911 he received his brahmacharya from Swami Virajananda in Mayavati. 1916 he received his sannyas from Swami Brahmananda, and became the head of Mayavati in 1918 and the president of Mayavati in 1927. Then in 1927, he was in San Francisco as head of the Vedanta Society there for 2 years. 1938, he became the general secretary of the order. Again in 1961, he came to America for surgery. 1962, he was president, and that same year, vice president, and the same year he became president, and 3 years later, in 1965, he died. Swami Madhavananda was considered a great scholar in the order, and also a man of great discipline and spiritual attainment. Could you please describe to us your first meeting of Swami Madhavananda and your impressions of him?
In your description, in 1918, I think he became president of Mayavati.
Head of Mayavati.
Yeah, basically head of Mayavati. Anyhow, for me, I saw him also, of course, when I went to Belmont first, but actually I met especially when I was a student. When I was going to finish my exam, now and then I used to meet him, but salute, like normal courtesies and all that. And then once I had a struggle, just before my finishing examination and going to join soon, my eldest brother gave an offer to send me to America for studies, education or something. Then I did not know what to do. Some say go, go, some say don't go, don't go. So we thought, let us go to ask. Somebody suggested, go to Madhavandaji. So I went to Madhavanji. That I was pacing up and down on the downstairs, and he was upstairs. Suddenly from upstairs, he noticed that I am walking. Nobody was around early morning. Do you want anything? Yes, Maharaj. Come up. So I went there. Then I have got a little confusion. What should I do? So I told him that this is the problem. I've been offered to go to America, and of course we shall have to borrow money also, plus then whether I should go or not. They told me that you had the desire to become a sadhu. Is it only? Yes. Then I told the Vimuktananda Swami he was starting a university, this, that, or college he started, and it will it be more useful, this, that. So that when it comes, if you want to be a monk, the sooner the better.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he told something more. Shall I tell that?
Yeah, go ahead, tell him.
He told, you see, America is full of beautiful women everywhere. See? So who knows what he'll do? So it's better to become sadhu earlier.
Swamiji, I thought he was the one who told you to flip the coin. Wasn't he the one who told you? Who told you to flip the coin?
I don't know. I myself told that one.
I know, the 50-50, I thought that was...
Oh, yes. That was one. He asked me, how much? Which one you like more? I said, sometimes this, sometimes that. 46. No. That way decision doesn't come. And then he asked me. He said, no, for young days we know that you want to renounce and become religious. by major idea. But then you do not bother about higher qualification or this. Sooner the better you come, that idea.
So, Swamiji, what were your first, maybe not your first impressions, not the first time you met him in 1937, but later when you used to see him when you were a student in Calcutta? How would you describe him to us? Was he grandfatherly? Was he?
See, we had a sense of awe. He was a big official, never came out. Rarely I have seen him walking. You see, you'd go for a walk once a while, so you'd go to for pranams in the shrine, but always in his room, always in his easy chair, either reading proof or reading a book or something. So a sense of great awe was there, of course. But I was familiar also in certain ways, talking about my studies. Once it happened, a new drama theatre was started about Ramakrishna, but using Bail names, because it was not yet allowed. Because in India there is a rule, if any movie or anything hurts the religious feeling of people, it is banned. So that when they brought it out. Other names they used, but then they sent me, because I was still a brahmachari, not yet a brahmachari, just joined to go to see and report. So I went as a student in literature also. Anyhow, after seeing that, I came and reported that once you accept the idea that it will be dramatized, they have not taken any. They have not presented Ramakrishna in a wrong way. They have introduced a subplot, and in that they short laugh and this and that, but with the subplot not a part of this. So that was another thing that he asked me to go and see a theatre. Then another crucial thing happened. I just joined, and party from India was going to come. And our district, Sylhet, was a disputed area because Muslim majority. The Assam people did not want us, I think. So it was given to a referendum. All the population will vote. So whether I should go there or not. I joined 3 months earlier. So although you are a sadhu, you cannot go like that, some people said. Some people said, no. Then I said, all right. I asked the General Secretary, the topmost man. When I went and told Maharaj, probably I should not go. I went in a negative way. Probably I should not go. No, it is a life and death question. You should go. So question was solved, and it was convenient for me. If I went earlier on my own, I had to spend the money. And no money in those days, because I never went for a job, you see. So our secretary had to give the money for me to go and come back. So these two crucial decisions.
Now you went there to make sure your family was all right, or why did you go there? To vote.
To vote, whether it should be in India or Pakistan.
I see.
We voted for India, but we lost because Muslims are majority. Mm-hmm. And some areas they forcibly did not allow many villages, Hindus, to come out, out of force. You see. That is how they did.
Okay, so you would say that your relationship with him was a fairly...
No.
Relationship with him was a fairly formal one.
Yes, formal, but because I was a student and knew him, I was not afraid of him. See, Central was there. 2-3 instances are like this. When I went for my examination, I did not do very well. Then it was told to him, well, yes, if too much of devotion practice is there, or is the time for studying? Of course, he himself did not complete his MA. He was a very good student, stood second in the whole university in school final, thousands of students. Then BA honours he passed, but MA he joined in English literature, and he was considered whole life as an authority in English. but he did not complete his studies. He came away, joined. In those days, the encouragement was, whenever Vairagyam comes, give up. So probably appreciated, though by that time college started. So I would not be very good for college because I did not the highest type of results. But told, oh, too much of bhakti bhakta. All the time busy with devotion or devotees, of course, good results is difficult. Anyhow, later, as a brahmachari 2-3 times, I had more like an encounter. What is what happened? One young man from my town, was known to me also, came to Bellumat to join, but not through me, state he came. And after 3-4 months, they were sending him to Hobiganj. What stock was there for him to go to Singapore, he was very happy. Then Hobiganj. So on hearing that, I went to Swami Gambhiran, the assistant secretary, who was in the road, and asked him, Maharaj, it will not be a good idea to send him there. His house is here, 10 miles away. There will be some rioting, some fire and this and that. How can a boy remain as a sadhu when he hears about something happening in his village or anything? No, then let him go to Silchar then. I told, yes, that is at least better than this place. Otherwise, Singapore was better. So like this he talked, that he evidently complained to Madhavanandaji. This boy talks like that. So when he did not strongly support, I went to General Secretary. So I went to Madhavanandaji to talk about him. Of course, he evidently already heard from Gambhiranji. He said, oh, the relationship will not do. Then I told Maharaj, what relationship? You don't know anything. I also, you don't know anything, arguing, you see. How can he be? I am a Brahmin. He is not a Brahmin. How can he be my relation? He comes from the same town. That's all. Then I explained that 10 miles away, how to remain a sadhu if he hears something is happening there. No, if he doesn't want, let him go away. Then I found that I'm spoiling his case. So I told him, no, let him go, whatever you want to say, but I thought I should warn you. So I came away. After that, whenever they sent him there, and whenever I would go, he would say, oh, that boy is doing well. Oh, he's a nice boy. Wrote to me, we are not doing any social service, but we are eating here. He's a very good boy. After 1 year, the boy went away as I predicted. After that, never mentioned about that boy. Previously, every time he mentioned about that boy. After that, never mentioned about that boy. Anyhow, of course, I was not happy to show that I know better than them, you see. I did not tell that point. So that was one more incident. Another incident I have, good incident. I was the superintendent of Belmont College. Then we had some difficulty at that time, student strike, this, that. So I went to him to complain that they are not fully giving me protection. That is our head. So he immediately, I cross-examined with this of the day. Did you tell him? Did you tell him? Yes, Maharaj. So he told, by evening that Swami arranged everything was solved. So Madhavanandaji just wish feeling itself was very important. Anyhow, then once after Vidyamandir, I was suddenly transferred to Madras. And at that time he was on leave for 2 years. We gave up general secretaryship and Prabhu came back. And then we came to Madras. And from Madras superintendentship, through me 4 boys joined for other men. I became quite well known in that area. But I was transferred. And I was made a regular brahmachari. My job is to clean the vessels of the shrine and serve and all that. And I was a lecturer and all that. So I have always the thought with certain things I may react. So he asked me, how are you? I am all right. Of course, when I joined, I had the idea to work among the young men, students. That's why I joined that. But now I am seeing the bad side of this type of work. It is called dosha darshan. I am seeing the bad side of the thing. Then he began to say, no, you need not see the bad side. There will many scopes come in future. He was afraid that I may completely withdraw from the active life. I was well known as a very enthusiastic man. Anyhow, so that is. Then he asked me, have you seen Kanchipuram? He was going. But no, they could not spare me. Why? Don't you fall sick or anything? Then of course he kept silent. But he showed sympathy. The head quickly came, somebody else was to go. So I could not take him, he is to go. That way. These are the issues. Oh, another important issue. At that time, this Swami Chinmatrananda, who was another senior Swami, came to him and told him, the Swami, you can put him in Vivekananda College. He is very popular with students, and if you put him there, he may be able to recruit people, this, that. Anyhow, after some time I went there to salute him. Suddenly he told, oh, the Dikkadave, he will give initiation, out of the blue. I surmised because that's why he praised me, that he is very enthusiastic and this, that. And his enthusiasm must go in some direction, you see. Anyhow, so I came out and told the brahmacharis who were taking tea, see, he has told, I may have desire at some age, but you all are my witnesses, I would be responsible. If I have the desire to give initiation, it is because the words of mother's disciple must come true. So you must be all my witnesses, because in Belmont it is a capital offense to give initiation without being sanctioned, you see. So then after many years I came to America and initiated. So Buddhananda Swami, who was head of Delhi later, he wrote to me, see, the words of the saint have come true that you initiate. Anyhow, of course, if I did not come, I had to wait for 80 years to initiate probably. But anyhow, these are the instances. Once more, before that I wrote to him once that Vivekananda College has a great scope for working, and in 50 years we have no Tamil sadhus in large numbers. A few are there. So he may put me somewhere and all that. He wrote, oh, you need not plan so much. We are there to plan. You need not plan so much. So say, quieted me, that's way. Anyhow, so that is how it happened.
Swamiji, what did you find to be the most particular or tendency or personality trait of Swami Madhavananda?
See, you are the general secretary. So he encouraged work. He would not like people to become without work. Or always used to quote, it's better to
Rust out than wear, better to wear out than rust out?
It is better to wear out than rust out. Then there is a story about that same Gangacharan Maharaj. He went to Madhavananda and told, Maharaj, I don't have any mental struggle or anything. I am quite peaceful. He said, yes, because you don't want to become a head and don't expect to be head, so no problem for you. Then one boy came, young man. He comes to come to stay in Mutt. Then he said, when I come to Belmont, I feel like going home. When I go home, I feel like I'm to Mott. Then he said, then come and go. Come and go. Humorously, you would say. And later I read in his life that he used to always poke. And Shuddhanandaji was his, more or less like a guardian. You said you have got all good qualities, but that habit of poking doesn't go. And he admitted it's true. But dry humor. We had dry humor. Say one Swami said, Maharaj, I can shave my head without seeing the mirror. Then, but Taparanda Swami, Vishuddha can shave with 2 razors at a time. So his comment was, yes, the samskara of previous lives. That means they were barbers in previous life.
Which is a very low.
Like this poking that way. He was there. But man of straightforward, I have heard from Swami Mrityunjayananda, when I was talking that all people work is encouraged. But no, Madhavan, you are strongly in favor of work. It's because he was the head of Asansol. He told him, are you not going to do anything? Other people are doing. Are you not going to do? So I had to start, upgrade the school, this, that. Because of him, he wanted me to do something. And at that period, the Education Secretary of Bengal was known to him. So he came and approached him. That instead of wasting all your energy of sadhus collecting money little, we shall give you all the money. You organize institutions for service. And Madhavanji liked that idea, and many institutions were encouraged. Ramakrishna Order and others, Hiranmayanda, all of the big institutions had started at that time. And college, of course, was there.
So Swamiji, between 1938 and 1961 was a very long period of time that he was General Secretary, even though he took a leave of absence at one point for 2 years. What was his major focus? You're saying work was his focus, but did he encourage any particular type of work? Was he more interested, for instance, in literary work versus working in the villages, or?
I don't think individually he would tell anybody. Whatever his need was there, he would make them try to adjust with it.
Okay.
To adjust with it. And give specifying remarks more. Specifying remarks more. Say, there was one Ramprasad Maharaj. He was head of Kankhal. For some reason, they said you better step down because he had tussled with some old type mutts. So they thought better, though it's not his fault so much, but because he had quarrels with them. And because they removed him, they also removed that person, both of them. But I have seen several letters by Madhavananda to him. This is that, of course, what can you do? We had to do this, that. But you to take it, swakarma phalabhag puman. A person enjoys or suffers according to his karma. So, instead of blaming anybody else, you take that is your karma. Several times to pacify him, he did it. So, then another story I know, one Swami was a singer with Swami Madhavananda and all that. In later days, many years, about 35 years he worked, then he wanted to Rishikesh, this, that, not too much in work. Then they wrote a letter. What is the usefulness of you if you don't do work and all that? Then he told me, he wrote a letter, Maharaj, 35 years I have lived here. If I could not prove my worth to the order, by one letter, how can I change your mind? Then immediately softened very much. Yes, you do tapasya. This is quite all right. So that Swami also wrote in a very disarming way. And if somebody was right, even if he quarreled with him, he would not bear any grudge against him. That was greatness. He would not. Yeah, then he would not mind arguing if you could convince him. Swami, our Swami Maharaj, he knew him as a boy, and he used to tell that He is the only man whom he called as Tui. Everybody is Tumi, because they knew him as a boy. Then when he joined, he told him, now we are enemies. I shall order you to hear me. Know about that sweet friendship. Like that he told him. And of course, once he came to Madras, and a little chana was given to him, cheese, extra. He noticed that it was not given to others. No, you need not give. Then Kailashanji, he was the same age group, but much junior, joined later. Then, no, it is good for health. What? I don't know whether jokingly told, Shailesh Maharaj, you are a sadhu for so many years. You steal that food gives health, or is it karma which gives health? So we are not sure whether it is seriously telling or half seriously telling. But similar thing he did with Swami Maharaj. Swami Maharaj was the sevak of Shankaranandaji. So he prepared sweets for Shankaranandaji. So one extra sweet he brought for Madhavanandaji. No, why did you bring this? Are you trying to oiling? Why not go and give that blind Swami there? Of course, Swami was burst into tears. He never expected such an rough treatment. But anyhow, it shows that he did not want any special arrangement.
So he was an austere sadhu, was he not?
Austere
Swamiji?
sadhu, minimum requirements, and often very self-supporting. In his days, he did not have any sevak. He had only half sevak in Ramakrishna Maharaj. He was his typist, his sevak, everything. And any work comes, even if he's meditating, he'd stop and finish the work and then go to meditation again. And his order is there. Every time you come, you can finish the work first. That is more important, like that. So, but he was very regular in his spiritual practices, sadhana and all that. He suffered from eczema, sometimes very much. Otherwise, no big diseases. But that made him suffer much, several times. Then he came for head surgery, Nikhilanji arranged it and all that.
Did he, Swamiji, was he, when he became vice president or president, did he become much more motherly and affectionate, would you say?
I think later, even as general secretary, I think he softened very much. And vice president only three months.
No, Swami Madhavananda was
Vice
president. He was president for 3 years. Yes.
Vice president for 3 months.
Yes.
Anyhow, at that time, he was going to every place, would not give lectures much at that time. Oh, you have heard many lectures that way. Yeah, so affectionate, yeah. Those who become gurus, they become utterly more affectionate. I think he was softened even a little earlier. And earlier, yeah.
Okay, is there anything else, Swamiji, you'd like to share with us about Swami Madhavananda?
He toned up the level of the life of people, and if you believe somebody, then easily his faith would not be shaken. That idea.
What do you mean by that?
So he had some faith in somebody, in his behavior that he liked. Even if people complained against him, easily would not give up that impression.
I see.
Of course, sometimes people charge the other way also. But he was not gullible, he was quite strong. Quite strong. Like somebody complains against somebody, he said, have you seen with your own eyes? And till and until he says, I have seen with my own eyes, you not take his opinions. You have not seen. But if said, and if he is known as a good sadhu, then mind it. Anyhow, many situations, even when I became the superintendent, and another brahmachari was brought as head, the question came like this, that the previous principal was spending much money. So secretary was to find out money. He told him. Then they decided to give leave to the principal, Tejaswamiji. To us, he explained that he is a very good principal, but doesn't care for money. Because money somebody else collects and all that. So once he convinced, he was ready to remove anybody, that idea. Strong he was and all that. Then when women's mott idea came, he first allowed them to have free discussion. But at the last moment, he himself piloted the bill, so nobody objected. Still a few people objected. And those few people are later brought by pro morals to become secretaries, president, this, that. So that is the only, he was known as a very upright man. And of course many people, I am sure, are afraid of him also. And often he was not too much in formality. I remember I came from Madras, first day I saluted, he asked me 1 or 2 questions. Next day again I saluted, he said, "Oh, have you come? You need not come every day." So I did not go any day after that, about 10 days. Then he was going out somewhere, so I went and saluted. Then he said, "Are you all right?" And he was conscious that he asked me not to come, or did not come, so I did not go at all, as if almost non-cooperation. So he was alert, but knowingly he did this. Especially in Madras, he was very sweet with me and affectionate that way.